And a pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. Alan Slaughter-Zinski with you live here tonight from the beautiful downtown Melbourne studios. And as we continue here tonight with our spring football recaps, you see the helmet sitting on the table here. You see the shirt on. It is the MCC Hustlers tonight. And I had the privilege the other night to call the Spring Jamboree. And here to discuss the Spring Jamboree with me, one of my favorite guys to talk to, no doubt about it. We've always had great conversations. I can remember talking to him on the road back when he was one of the very first coaches for the Florida Tech Panthers. Please help me welcome Willie Tillman. Coach, welcome.
Thank you much, Alan. Glad to be back.
Coach, let me ask you this. Before we get started, this I got to know. Do you have one of these clipboards that says Coach Willie on it?
I do not. I
Okay.
do not. But I see the Coach Bob.
Yeah, I took this from him the other night at the game. I love it. I love it, Coach.
That's
Well,
funny, Alan.
I tell you, I love watching your football team the other night. So the first question I'm going to ask you is: over the two and a half weeks that you had together with them and the jamboree on Friday night, what did you take away from your team's performance in this one?
Well, looking at the spring, I got to look at the overall spring.
Yeah,
I can't just look at what we did in those 4 quarters.
sure.
Coming in, building a program, starting from scratch, what I wanted to do and implement. And in the off season, there's 4 phases of an off season. The first phase is the winter conditioning. So when I first got here, the first thing we did was 6 8. Right there, you go, a picture right there. 6
Yep.
a.m. in the morning. Those were our workouts, and I wanted to kind of to see the dedication of the young men and their parents getting up in the morning and getting there. And Alan, I tell you what, man, our turnout and our enthusiasm and our willing to learn was great. And that was our first quarter. You know what I mean? So I thought we did good coming in first quarter. Second quarter is your spring game, which we just completed. And I think you don't just go from the spring game, you go through the whole spring. And offensively, I think we were a lot farther ahead offensively because we kind of stayed with the same, things we did last year. And good shout out to Coach Knox Robinson
Yeah.
for really doing a good job. It also helps to have a guy like Brogan McNabb and some other weapons out there that we have. But we played with a 7A team down to one. And it's really funny, Alan. You're going to get a kick out of this because I'm breaking the film down and I'm looking what Chad Raymond and Lyle Neighbor was doing. It felt like a FIT practice. Uh, and, we were doing some of the same things. We were doing an FIT and they were doing some. So it was kind of funny just watching the film but being able to play those guys to a 1 point game. And I really thought that some of our guys really stepped up. Alan, we had a lot of guys that had never played a varsity football game. And it was good to see those guys kind of get into it and get after a little bit. And the big thing is those kids didn't stop fighting. So really happy with the spring overall. And our next phase is the summer workouts, but we're getting ready to start, and then we'll go into the camp, which will be our fourth quarter, I think.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about that because as I was sitting there broadcasting the other night, I saw Chad. I looked across, I saw you, and I said, "Oh my goodness!" I said, "This is like a reunion right here."
Yeah,
How
yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
how weird was that for you?
Going in, I knew, I kind of figured what they would do offensively, and I knew they were going to try to just pound us. And being a 1A team, you're not really big up front. We're probably big up front for our size at school, but
Right.
overall, what I mean. So I knew I had to move around, and I really implemented some things at a pretty high level and our guys kind of picked it up. Just man for man, I think a little bit we were outmatched a little bit. But we were getting guys in the right positions, and we ended up making some plays at the end. We had the big fumble that went back 70 yards,
Yeah.
and then the other fumble at the end there, which was some good coaching points that we talked about. We talked about the balls in the country, scoop it up. That means nobody's around it. So big Tanner Campbell there scooped the ball up. It was in the country. Nobody was around and scrambled for 70 yards. You know what I mean? So and then we get the other one with the balls in the city at the end of the game there to give us a chance to win. So there was some good things out of that, Alex.
Coach, I think I looked down on the sidelines and I saw two of your bigger offensive. Look, last year, with the returners you have coming up on the big offensive line, I saw a couple of guys that weren't suited up for the game. Some of your bigger linemen, and you didn't have Justin Woolard,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
state track champ in the
yeah,
long
yeah.
jump. And so tell me. So tell me a little bit about, here's the numbers from last season. You see the 1,800 rushing yards, the 2,200 passing yards.
Oh yeah.
What kind of an offense do you and Knox want out there for, especially with a guy like a Brogan McNabb?
It, you know, and really the way this thing is starting to develop, it's going to be very explosive.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, we're still lacking. I'll be honest, a solid running back. You
yeah,
know what I mean? If we could get a guy back there that can tote the ball, um, yeah, with the guys we have on the outside, and we got some guys that can run the ball, but you know what I mean, Alex.
yeah, oh yeah.
And they're out there too, and they're out there. So if we could get one of those with what we got up front, and what we got on the outside, and some young men developing. I don't know if you saw Brady Bonenberger, number 7 over
Yes.
there, down the sideline, going up and get it, and
Oh
his
yeah.
confidence is really rising. So yeah,
I called his name a lot in that game.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he's a kid that I'm real excited about. We got a lot of guys that I'm really excited about. When we get those two guys healthy, really we have a good chance.
Coach, you've done this at every level. I mean, you spent some time there with the Ravens, Florida Tech, high school, college, you name it, you've been there. You came into MCC 6 months ago now. How have you been able to take all of that experience to kind of ease into this thing and get it going in the direction you want it to go?
Well, you have a plan,
Yeah.
as you go through life and experiences and being around people and listening and taking notes. And I came in with a plan. When this wasn't just a job I took for a better job. I mean, a
Right.
lot of times in coaching, we're always trying to get a better job. This wasn't the case, man. This was a plan, a 10-year, 15, 20 life plan of a job. We'll see how that goes, but that's my plan right now, to be here a long time. So in doing that, like my 4 phases that we're going through right now, we're really at halftime of those phases, because phase 3 of our summer workout starts on Monday. But yeah, you stick to your plan. You use your resources of people around you. That, hey, well, how did you do this when you were here? And I'm blessed to have some really good people around me here in the county and outside of the county that I can lean on. And not only I can lean on, they'll call me. I've had some
Yeah.
guys in the county call me and say, Willie, you need to be doing this, or here's a rule here that can help you out. So that's been a blessing.
I like the camaraderie there here with MCC Hustler head coach Willie Tillman. You mentioned a camp, coach. I know that you have something coming up I want to put up on the screen to get out there for you. The MCC football camp coming
Yes,
up,
sir.
football development training. You want to take a minute and talk about what that
Yeah,
camp is?
the 10th through the 13th. We'll be out there. Our guys will be out there. Our players. We'll have some coaches out there, but it'll be a good time for learning. Just the development of football, offensively, defensively. We'll also do some special team stuff with kids kicking and punting, and then we'll compete at the end. Let them compete. So it's always fun. And it's a good way to sell our product and be around our coaches and our players, and just give back to the community.
Coach, what is based on your experience? You attended Satellite, went to Purdue, as I said, over 25 years worth of great coaching experience, successful at all the levels. What is, in your opinion, the most important part of an off season?
Oh, I would think the just growing as a team.
Yeah,
Obviously everybody's want to get stronger. Everybody wants to get faster, and that's up to the individual. I mean, I could put you in a weight room, but if you ain't lifting no weights, you ain't gonna get stronger, right?
Right.
So that drive's got to be there. But overall, man, just being around each other, growing, learning from one another. Um, I think this offseason we want to try to get into a team camp. I know it's kind of late, but just after the spring game, I think that is important to be able to be around the guys be around, and just get live reps.
Yeah.
Being a 1A school, we don't get a lot of live reps. Just honestly, live good reps.
Yeah.
So if you can do and I've got some things I'm working on right now over on the West Coast. That'd be really nice to go over there and spend a day or two with some people I know, and compete, and be able to take care of each other at the same time.
Here with head coach Willie Tillman. Coach, obviously in your first year and already molding this team into what you want from them. Where do you see, where does this team need in your eyes to step it up coming out of the spring?
Um, well, we need reps.
Yeah.
Our kids need reps, really.
Yeah.
They need to tackle. They need to be tackled. They need to get blocked. They need to get knocked on their butt. They need to get up and knock somebody on their butt. They need that.
Yeah.
So that's why I was kind of saying that
Team
camps
camps.
would be good for us. Team camps would be good for us. And skill. I mean, we can use some skill. I'll be honest with you. Like I just said about the running back, we need some DBs.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah, we need some secondary guys. We're really good up front, offensively and defensively. But we can use some linebackers, DBs, one or two receivers, and a running back. That's that's what can help us, Alan.
I hear you. Coach, I said during the broadcast the other night that when I look at your wide receiving core now with Brogan, their quarterback, I think it has the potential to be one of the best in Brevard County. And I even mean that, as good as Coco's is, I even mean that right up there with the Tigers. I look at Ramel, and we didn't see Justin, and I don't know what capacity Justin Woolard's going to be used in. But, just some of the pass catchers that you have, how impressed have you been with guys like Ramel? And have you had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with Justin? Because I know he does a lot with track and field and winning state championships. But talk about your wide receiving core a little bit.
Well, first of all, with Justin, right when I got here, I joined the track team, the coach, and I wanted to be around Justin, Javion, and Cooper, and some other guys that were doing track at the time. And I thought that was important to be around those guys, build those relationships, and Justin is fast.
Yes.
10,
Yeah.
10-6, I witnessed that 10-6. He was anchor of the 4x1 when we did run the 4x1, and some guys in the county can tell you Justin is fast. Justin, we'll utilize him in his speed. And sometimes we won't even give him the ball, but we'll utilize him in his speed, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to know where he is, and we'll motion him a little bit, and we'll protect him because he's a track guy.
Yeah.
I understand that, and I want him to go to college and do both, and I think he wants to do both, and so I'm not dumb in trying to use him too much. Plus, we got
Right.
a lot of other talent around him, so he's a blessing to have. My hats off to him because he's an unbelievable track athlete, from long jump, triple jump, 200, and also the 100. So hats off to Justin. I give him his flowers, and then Ramel. Ramel's good too.
Yeah.
One thing about Ramel's tough.
Yes, he is.
We did some tackling circuits, and Ramel really surprised me with his toughness. And it was against some good competition as well. So Ramel, he'll help us out. And I talked about Grady, Caden Kelly. Caden Kelly's like a slash guy. You know what I mean? He caught a touchdown, threw a touchdown. You know what I mean? So just right there, and I'm probably missing somebody.
Sure. It's natural.
So hats off to all those guys.
You definitely got some talent. That's for sure. Let me put the schedule up and got a couple questions. So let me real quick just put this camp notice back up one more time. There coming up there. Yeah, no, absolutely no problem whatsoever. And We'll get this up on the page as well here in the next couple of days. But there's the schedule back up on the screen. It ain't an easy one, Coach, to put it.
No,
But it's
not at
not
all.
at all.
Not at all.
God
Not
bless,
at all.
God bless you and Bobby Norton for
For sure.
putting that one together. But
The whole MCC community, God bless us, right?
yeah, I
And
mean that's
hey, but
that.
I know high school football from recruiting and
Yeah,
from going deep in the playoffs at Lakewood High School. We went to the state semifinals, and that's what you want to do. You want to go to the playoffs,
yeah,
right? That's why you play the game to win a state championship or to compete for a state championship, right?
that's
Not
right.
to go 10-0 and not go and get in the playoffs or whatever. So the strength of the schedule will help us get into the playoffs. Is really what I'm thinking, what I'm hoping. And we got some talent, and we'll be playing to get some talent. And there'll be college coaches looking, and that'll help our guys with recruitment. And we're not scared.
No, I mean you
I
look.
just, I'm not scared. You know what I
No,
mean? I know it's tough, but
you
hey, let's
you
go.
look
We,
at
we got
you.
to be, Alan, listen to this. We have to be the best team on the field that day,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
You know what I mean? We take 1 week at a time and be the best team on the field that day. And how the cookie crumbles is how it falls.
Coach, you look at Trinity Catholic last year. They're the perfect example of this. This was a 4-6 football team last year, and everybody said that didn't know high school football that looked at Trinity Catholic in a playoff schedule and said, "Oh man, we're playing a 4-6 team. How's that?" Well, Trinity Catholic was state runner-up last year because those 6 losses came against some of the best competition in this state. But look
Yep.
at where Trinity Catholic ended up when it was all said and done. So,
Alan, I know teams last year got into the playoffs with 2-8 records.
yeah, yeah. That's these schedules do that. Coach, let me ask you this, and I'll ask Curly this as well, and because you both have done this at every level, who in terms of for you, and I ask you this in your interview here, but as people get to know you at MCC, Satellite, Purdue, all the places that you've been, Coach. Who has been the biggest one or two or three or four or even whoever you want to mention has been the biggest influence on your coaching style here now?
Man, a couple people.
Yeah.
Probably starting off, a guy that a lot of people know the name, Danny Denenberg,
Oh
because of the
yeah.
Denenberg family of the Mason and Grady, and Carly and Lexi,
Yeah.
all doing well in sports. But he was real. He was my quarterback coach at Satellite.
Gotcha.
Uh, and he was pretty tough on me, but in a loving way. And always stayed in contact since going to Purdue, getting the coaching, even now. So and actually, yeah. So no, but yeah, he's been great. Reuben Carter. Reuben was the head coach at Florida A&M in my
Yeah.
time there. I was his defensive back coach. Reuben took a chance on me. I was the DC at Bethel. We had done real well and wanted to get into a higher level, FCS, and called Ruben up and he interviewed me and hired me, which doesn't happen very often because I don't, I didn't know Ruben at all. So that was a great opportunity, and me and Coach Carter have remained friends, and so he's been very influential to me.
Well,
Um, Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh no, it's been a lot, Alan. Again, I don't want to miss anybody.
No. I
And I,
get
and I
it.
and I know as soon as I hang up, I'm gonna be like, man, I should have said his name.
That's all right. That's all right. Look, if they get mad, tell them to come at me. Tell them I put you on the spot, which I did. Coach, that program is down there in one of the toughest parts of the county. I mean, it is competitive. It is sits right there off of Babcock Street down there, and you've got Melbourne and Palm Bay, and go a little further in Bayside and Heritage, and what about MCC have you found to be very special to you? What is it about MCC that stands out for you to this point?
First, the support. Um, Nick Regina, the president there, has a
Yeah,
vision, and I'm all for it. and he's shown me nothing but support, nothing but love. He's doing things the right way. He's doing things the Christian way, and that's all I can ask for.
Right.
He's a sports guy.
Yeah.
I'm obviously an academic guy too, but
Right.
he's a sports guy, and that's what you want as a head coach, right?
Sure.
So yeah, so that's been great. The location is great.
Yeah.
I even though I went to Satellite and grew up on Patrick, I spent a lot of time in Grant Street Community Center.
Gotcha.
I don't know if Alan, if you know where that is.
I absolutely. I've been
Yeah,
there plenty of times. Yeah.
yeah. So I was over there today, and meeting, talking, and greeting, and doing, they got pickleball over there. So yeah,
Uh
just
huh.
but that's a great area. Palm Bay is just north of that, so there's a great area to attract a lot of good student athletes
Yeah.
who wants a good education, um, who wants to play football at what we call a high level.
Yeah.
Get recruited. I don't know, Alan, but we've had 31 college coaches um, through MCC in the last 3 weeks.
That's impressive. That's very
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah. So to get recruited, and and we're building character too, Alan. We're not just building football players, but we want to build a whole person. So and all again, Nick Regina has supported that. That's my goal, and it's been easy to do there.
I know what a character guy you are, and I know what a believer you are in building character. And I thought when look, it was a long haul for them to find you and you find them. And once the match had been made, I think you took a step back and went, oh my goodness, it just makes so much sense, for Coach Tillman and MCC to have this marriage there with football. And I thought I personally thought, and I mean no disrespect to anybody else, because, I thought Owens going back to Space Coast was a good hire, but I just thought it was one of the, if not the best hire of the off season here in Brevard County. What is it that you want as the 2024 off season is here, and then now the 24 season approaches with the tough schedule, with the players you have returning? What is it that you think everyone should know about this program moving forward?
It's a program.
Yeah.
We're not just trying to build a team. Um, really want to get them young and develop them, and get them ready for college.
Yeah.
MCC is a college prep school.
Yeah.
I want our program to be the same way.
Yeah, I agree.
And the big thing that I want our players to know and our players to feel is a brotherhood, and that's what we talk about. We talk about brotherhood. We talk about what is best for my brother is best for me.
I love that.
And that's been said since day one. When we talked about that winter conditioning 6 a.m. That is one of the first things that was said. And we still preach that. We coach it. Because it's easy to coach, because there's a lot of times where I can do things or help my brother or be there for my brother. So yeah, that's what I want young men to know, that hey, if you come in this program, I said this before, everybody can't be a starter, but everybody can have a role.
Yep.
And your role is important. You know what I mean? And that's what I want young men to know and parents to know. That's what I want our young men to feel in the program, that there's a brotherhood here, and
And,
that's going to last forever. That's going to last a lifetime, Alan. No
and,
matter if we win or lose, you're going to remember that brother that you went to war with, right?
and you're going to make, as the shirt says there, right? Make some history, right?
That's the plan. That's in the plan. You know what I mean?
Make some history.
Actually, we have the plan. There's the goal right there. Make history.
Make history. I like it. Coach, one more time with the camp information. I
Yes,
can't thank
sir.
you enough for coming on here tonight and recapping your spring. And again, Coach, let's make sure for everybody's sake we all get one of these clipboards, because
Hey,
I
hey.
like the see-through thing there. No, Bobby gave this to me the other night. It came in handy because I needed a third. Coach, thank you so much. And I'm proud to announce that MCC is also a part of the Brevard Sports Network high school football broadcast package this year. So we'll see you a whole lot.
Alan, one thing I do want to say before I go, just real
Sure.
quick, I got to thank all my coaches, Coach Ostrander, Coach Neefe Moffitt, Coach Demetrius Williams, Coach Lee Moore, Coach Knox Robinson, Cam Wicks. Oh, man, I hope I ain't forgetting nobody. I didn't write them down, but all those guys have been great. They've sacrificed time to be out there. Yeah, so I just want to thank those guys. Thank you for giving me that time to say that.
Absolutely, Coach. Thank you so much. And listen, you and yours have a great summer.
I'm sorry. You know who I did forget?
Who?
The main man.
Who?
DFO Bobby Norton.
Bobby Norton, right? Well, Bobby's got his flowers tonight with this damn clipboard, Coach. But we took care of Bobby. But Coach,
Awesome.
we'll see you again here coming up. We'll be at fall practice a lot, and we will see you for sure week 1. Coach, thanks so much.
Peace, my man.
Take care. All right, always great talking to head coach Willie Tillman. And coming up right here in just a couple of minutes, it's going to be Hurley Brown from Holy Trinity. So we're going to jump off, and we'll be right back here in a couple of minutes with Hurley Brown of the Holy Trinity Tigers. I want to say thanks to Coach Willie Tillman, and have a great night, everybody.